I'm guessing pretty much everyone with awful enough taste to watch my videos to begin with has at the very least heard of this little anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. For the 0.1% of people who have no clue what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is whatsoever, allow me to summarize the show for you in the most abridged way I can think up in the next 2 minutes, give or take. JoJo follows the titular main character, JoJo, as he fights against a homoerotic vampire. He defeats the homoerotic vampire, but another JoJo encounters several ancient Aztec bodybuilders which he must fight to save the world using super breathing. Also remember that homoerotic vampire dude, he comes back and fights against another JoJo where they all have Power Rangers that pop out of them as a fighting mechanic. It's actually pretty neat. Then another JoJo shows up and we are trying to find a fetishist serial killer in the late 90s Japan, but we have been in Japan for far too long, so how about we hop over to Italy where another JoJo wants to join the mafia. And speaking about crime, how about we check up on the JoJo that was framed and sent to prison where she fights a gay priest who was raw dogging the homoerotic vampire from before. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm a bit sick and tired of the modern era, so how about we check up on the alternative universe counterpart of that JoJo who fought against the homoerotic vampire from before. But there's a twist, this time he really likes horses and spinning things. In the same alternate timeline, there's also this JoJo guy who has 4 testicles, that's pretty much his defining trait, and he fight against some stone dudes that like the same fruit as Stardust does. This is pretty much what JoJo is all about. Now, if you listen to this and still don't understand a single thing I just talked about, congratulations, you are a normal, healthy individual. The show is called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for a reason after all. But contrary to the last whatever 2 minutes it was of me rambling, this video is actually about Baki. Because on God, Baki makes JoJo look like a regular slice of life series from time to time. Baki is about this boy called Hanma Baki, and his story starts off at about age 13-ish, I want to say, where he starts training to beat up his absolute menace of a failed deadbeat father Yujiro Hanma. Now, Baki is your average Japanese teenager because at age 15 he already fought in and won a no-rules fighting tournament against professional fighters, criminals and Bigfoot for some fucking reason. He also fights a 15-year-old crime lord who is the size of 3 grown-ass bodybuilders, a soldier who can scream loud as fuck. Seriously, just imagine that one angry German kid who went viral like a decade ago, I'll just put him on a screen somewhere, and just slap a military uniform and some muscle on that kid and you got Gaia. This 15-year-old kid just fights people because he wants to fight his dad who killed his mom and blah blah blah, boring backstory blah blah blah. But the shit really starts to get stupid when we reach the 2018 anime on Netflix. Baki at this point is so ridiculously separated from the laws of physics and human biology, it's just silly. This guy can at this point in time just punch the air so fast he can create a fog illusion of a giant mantis in order to train to fight his dad. Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like some dumbass stand ability in JoJo called Enchanted Caress or something. Baki tries to play this shit off by calling it imaginary training and playing it off as something real athletes can do. Bro, no. No, just stop it. At least JoJo's would just not pretend. They would just own the fact that this is the ability of the most randomly specific stand to have ever been created. At least JoJo just doesn't even try to justify this stuff like being grounded in reality. They just roll with it. But in this 2018 animation, Baki, the 16 or 17-year-old teenager at the time or something, has to fight against 5 escaped death row inmates who came to Tokyo to taste defeat. These 5 bums broke out from submarines, super Russian prisons, etc. just to get their asses kicked by a Chinese monk dude, a teenage crime lord, some random karate dudes, Baki, and the weird military screamer dude who just decided to come back. Oh yeah, Baki's drug-addicted half-brother from another mother is also here for some reason, but whatever. And don't even get me started on these prisoners, bro. These are some of the weirdest fucking specimens I've ever seen. So you got this Russian dude Sikorsky, whose entire superpower, and I use that word really condescendingly, is having a good grip on things. He can climb flat surfaces like windows or whatever. Obviously he gets his ass beat once a semi-main character comes along. They really hyped this man all the way up, only to be defeated by Baki's druggy brother and the military dude. Tough luck, buddy. Like, seriously, I honestly feel bad for the guy. Like, really. There's also this Japanese dude who can create vacuums with his palms and has poison hands. Oh, okay, this sounds pretty neat, yeah. But the way they explain this, you seriously can't make this shit up. He got these super specific abilities by repeatedly slamming his hands in poisonous sand for X amount of years. Like, I can't be the only guy who finds some dude having a mystical stand called Purple Haze, which exudes poison, to be a more believable in-universe explanation than just slam your hands in poison and you will get poison slap abilities, bro. Source, trust me, bro. Like, come on. But okay, somehow 5 of these basically superhuman prisoners lose to a band of misfit teenagers and drug addicts. I am honestly convinced Baki just takes place in some lad street in Birmingham, bro. Like, oh, on God, they can't be serious. Oh, like, I can't get over the fact that Baki even tries to play this shit off like it's based on reality. And the worst part is that there are actually people who will be defending this bullshit like it could be done in real life. Like, I hate to bring up the statistics, like, I don't know this from the back of my head, I'm just winging it here, but I'm pretty sure that like 70% of the world's martial arts are fucking useless against an unwilling opponent. Like like a black belt in karate could still just get shanked and die. Like, this shit isn't real. Like, I'm losing my mind. I'm honestly losing my mind. But to get back on the old poison stuff, no, bro, you won't get super poison powers by repeatedly poisoning yourself. You will get eat shit and die disease. Use your brain cells. I am begging you. Read a book. You know that there is one Baki fan out there who is going to try to do some of this shit for themselves and just get the eat shit and die virus and just grab a wooden onesie and get thrown into the dirt. Like, if there hasn't been one, somebody will do it. I swear to God, somebody will do shit like this. At least JoJo fans know the absolute bullshit that happens in the show is just that. Absolute bullshit. Nothing in that entire show is meant to be taken seriously. And even just putting the fighting out of the picture for just a moment, the weird shit that takes place in JoJo can be pretty decently explained by the fact that the world is literally filled with mystical, breathing martial arts, people with stands which have the most ridiculous powers ever conceived in anime history, and just flat out magical creatures, aliens, etc. The show is made in such a way where weird stuff is just normal there. Baki, however, tries to play itself off as a show based on realistic martial arts, and obviously I am clowning in this video, it's not meant to be taken seriously, but I just find it hilarious that they try to establish some sort of imaginary link between it and existing martial arts. Like, no. No. Just no. Like we all know that changing your bone structure to resemble a whip is not something anyone can do. But Baki tries to make it sound like that's just something every dedicated fighter can just achieve with hard work. Also, if you are a 6'5" massive giant hulk of a man, you can just move around undetected by walking behind a guy and mimicking his movements. The fact that this is probably the most normal, down-to-earth Baki moment says a lot, doesn't it? Says a whole lot. My point for this video is that you can literally just grab all the characters from Baki and yeet them into JoJo's and it would just work out. Baki could just be a spin-off of the JoJo cinematic universe and no one would bat an eye. Let me just list off some things, some similarities between both shows from the top of my head real quick. Incredibly buff 16-year-old teenagers embarking on a life-threatening quest is seemingly just normal. The laws of physics are really more of a concept than a fact. Human biology can just be changed for whatever fits the scenario. You can just change your bone structure, whatever, go ahead. Another thing, both shows just somehow have ancient people returning to modern times to fuck shit up. Both shows have fucked up family dynamics featuring the most dysfunctional father figures the world has ever seen. Both shows have some of the greatest ass pulls that allow the main character to miraculously win against a foe obviously many times stronger than them. And there are a million other things the show just shares with JoJo. Both are just amazingly stupid and stupidly good shows. I recommend every single anime fans to at least give them a chance. I am 100% convinced that if you like Baki, you will love JoJo and vice versa. Both shows are just filled with wacky humor, strong characters in both design and writing, amazing fights, a cool and unique art style, and an enjoyable story to boot. I, once again, highly recommend you guys to just check out both of these shows or even rewatch them because they are really just that good. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching and I hope to see you guys again in the next video. Peace out. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more similar content in the future, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another video ever again. If you want to support me in another way, I recently set up a channel membership option. It's only $5 a month, but please only spend your money on supporting me if you can actually miss it. Things are expensive enough already as things stand, and I don't want people to get in monetary issues because they want, they feel they want to support me. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.